Have you ever felt frustrated, overwhelmed, or stuck wasting time in admin instead of growing, leveraging, and scaling your business? Then this podcast is for you. Welcome to Delegate to Elevate, the podcast that's all about handing off what you don't need to do so you can focus on what you do best. So here's your host, Bonnie Schutz.
Hey there, friends. It's Bonnie Schutz, your host of Delegate to Elevate, Get Done, where we talk about the not so glamorous moments behind all that shiny productivity and how delegation can truly elevate your life and business when it's done right. Today's solo Bonnie episode is going to hit a little different. Okay. Especially if you're in that space of wondering or your head's just toppling around. Why am I not feeling the relief I thought I would when I outsourced this? You know, been there, cried there, raged there, and I've come out the other side. So I just wanted to share that with you. Let's talk about, let's call this segment, I guess we can call it, the patience pitfall. So, patience is a virtue. Patience is something I don't have a whole lot of, and a lot of people don't, but listen to me when we talk about patience here and see how this hits you. So yeah, it's that thing everyone preaches about, but no one really wants to practice when they're drowning in a to-do list and paying someone else to take the load off. There's this moment. Maybe it's 3 days in, maybe it's 3 weeks, when the high of I delegated wears off, and suddenly you're staring at your inbox thinking, why am I still so busy? Why am I fixing things I thought I offloaded? Let me say this out loud and clear for those of you in the back. Just because you're not feeling instant relief does not mean you have failed at delegation. It might just mean you're in the awkward middle, the setup phase, the figure each other out stage, like dating, but maybe without task management software. Ba-dum-bum. So let's think of this. Let's think of questions before judgment. So before you judge yourself for quote unquote failing, before you declare that delegation dead on arrival, has failed, try this. Ask better questions. So I have a few of these to share with you to try. First one is, what's slowing you down? Next, where do you feel uncertain? A couple more that I thought of. Is there a step I didn't explain clearly? Do you feel like you understand my priorities? And if I wasn't clear, those are questions for you to ask your delegatee or delegate. I always say delegatee. Some people say delegate, whatevs. You know what I mean, right? Sometimes what we think we delegated isn't what the person thinks they were given. That disconnect, totally normal, totally fixable. And sometimes you, my friend, are still hanging on to a piece of the task without realizing it. I'm right. So let's think of our next segment as number 3. Take it back to move it forward. Have you ever thought of that? Here's a truth that might shock you. It's okay to take a task or a project back just for a minute. That's not failure. That's strategy. Sometimes reassessing where the breakdown is happening is the fastest way to get back on track. You're not quitting at delegation. You're, tweaking, you're fine tuning it. Think of it as cleaning the lens before looking through the scope again. Also, maybe your VA or contractor isn't in their zone. Wait, nope, I know better. Let's just say natural flow. Try not to say zone of genius all the time. Ask if what they do for you energizes them. Ask if they feel confident doing it. Like they're like, heard chef, loud and clear. I've got this. I know exactly what you need. If it's anything outside of that, something to think about. You might uncover a better way to work together, or you might redirect them to something they do crush. Rescope what they're doing for you, because you see where they shine and you see where they dull, right? Because let's be real, that's where the ROI lives. And another, for those in the back that don't know what ROI is, it's return on investment. And in my world, in our worlds as professional service providers, that ROI is not just monetary. That is time. Time is valuable and it can be equated to a monetary amount for you. So what I want to be to you all as we wrap this short little fun solo episode of mine up, I want to be your cheerleader, but I also want to be your mediator. So here's your cheerleader, Bonnie, which I was a cheerleader, believe it or not, back in the day. My daughter was a cheerleader, so I was quote unquote cheer mom. So I'm good at that. I'm good at building others up. And I hope that that episode builds you up. It makes you feel like, you're not broken. You're not bad at this. As I mentioned several times, delegation is a muscle. And not all of us are bodybuilders and CrossFitters and, strength trainers, whatever else there is. The more you use that muscle, the better you understand how to strengthen it. When I did work out once or twice in my life, I really enjoyed cardio. I don't know why, but I thought I would lose weight or whatever, but I wasn't strengthening any muscles truly. I was, other than my lung, which is like muscle, right? Maybe you medical people out there know if your lung is considered a muscle. But anyway, I digress. So if I step into my mediator hat at this point, and I'm not talking mediator like in a legal dispute, I'm talking mediator like a therapist or someone that can come in and be your bud and help you reframe what you're thinking. And the best advice I ever get, the first one is breathe. And we do it all day, every day, right? But if you do it a little bit more intentionally, we can do it together. Here, let's do it. Breathe in. Sometimes for me, I kind of close my eyes and it feels even better. So maybe we'll do it one more time. Breathe in. Kind of makes me sleepy on a Friday afternoon as I record this. But anywho, so the next thing I would say is ask hard but kind questions. Never be that person someone does not want to work with or for. Be kind, just in general. And it's all in the delivery. It's sometimes a hard question, but it can still be kind. It really can be kind. Think about how you're going to deliver it and think about how you would react if somebody said that to you. Like, oh gosh, let me think of an example. Somebody's doing my social media. The hard question would be, you've been doing this for 3 years now. And I think I've told you 16 times to use hashtag Bonnie's awesome sauce. And where the hell is it? Why do you never use it? That's hard. What if I say, hey, I am so glad to have been working with you. Can you believe it? For like 3 years now? I've got a question for you. Do you remember back, I don't know, a little while back when I said to use the hashtag Bonnie is awesome sauce? And you were amazing at using it in the beginning. But as I've kind of watched along, as we've gone on here all these years, I've seen it kind of fall off your radar and fall off our social media. And I really should have caught that sooner, but I just noticed. So would you mind getting that back in there for me? I'd appreciate it. It's kindness with a little humor, with a little something nice that they have done, that they, patting them over the virtual back of, thank you for what you have done. But here's something that's been irking me, but I'm not going to come in there rudely saying that it's irking me. Hopefully they can read between the lines and they'll make a change. But if they don't, that's when your tone can change a little bit. Still be kind. Hey, a week ago, I asked you to throw back in those hashtags of Bonnie's awesome sauce. I'm not seeing them still. I just want to make sure you understood that they're really important to me. Can you try to do that for me? I would really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Boom. Right? All in the freaking delivery. And I could do a whole episode on delivery, folks, honestly. So be honest with I'll use a VA as be honest with your VA or your marketing person or why can I never think of it? Your bookkeeper, since everybody says they like bookkeepers, but also be honest with yourself. And if needed, hit pause on that task, redirect, reassign, assign it back to yourself. See what they go through in a day of the life of a bookkeeper, if that's what it's doing. Because one awkward handoff does not mean the whole system is off. Delegation is a journey, not a destination. And every journey has bumps, speed bumps, humps, bumps, lumps. But the view at the top, says the girl that lives in Colorado with the beautiful mountains that she drives up, doesn't hike up, which she probably should hike up, but it is what it is. When I get to the top and look at that view, it is so worth it. Anywho, thanks for listening, my friends. If this resonated, shoot me a message, share it with your biz bestie, or leave a review. You never know who else might need to hear this exact reminder today. Until next time, keep delegating, keep elevating, and you know what comes next. Keep getting done.
So that's it for today's episode of Delegate to Elevate. Head on over to Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen and subscribe to the show. One lucky listener every single week that posts a review on Apple Podcasts or iTunes will win a chance in the grand prize drawing to win a $15,000 private VIP day with Bonnie herself. Be sure to head on over to delegatetoelevatepodcast.com. That's with the number 2. And pick up a free copy of Bonnie's gift and join us on the next episode.